Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, it's the Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Welcome to Friday the 17th of August. We are doing the movie The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
That's right. Long name. I just say Assassination of Jesse James. 2007. This is a movie that my wife and I really like. He doesn't like it so much. We'll get to that. So the story basically is Jesse James and his gang. It starts off there, but once they kind of branch off, it follows Jesse James and kind of his camp, and Jesse James, his kind of descent into paranoia and madness a little bit, and ends with him being killed by Robert Ford, who...
Spoiler.
who was, very funny, was kind of the Booth, you know, where when Booth took out Lincoln, he thought he'd be a hero, you know, at least to some people. Robert Ford thought he would be a hero because he usurped this, you know, powerful outlaw. But no, not so much. He was hated for it. There's still a lot of mystery about Jesse James and his real death kind of thing. But it is based on, you know, historical fact, paranoia and whatnot, and his gang. And, you know, Jesse James, part of the James gang, his brothers, they're famous for knocking over trains and all that stuff. We start there. We watch them plan a train robbery. They brought in people to their gang, including Robert Ford, who is played brilliantly, I think, by Casey Affleck. I don't like his brother very much, but I like Casey Affleck.
Casey Affleck is pretty good, yeah.
He's very odd in this. Right. And I really enjoy that, actually.
Yeah, I think he does a great job.
There's a guy from Deadwood in here. I mean, there's so many actors that do the Western thing so well, and one of them's in here playing kind of the weird. He's kind of the weird one that Jesse goes out of his way to find, and, you know, why don't we go have dinner? And then, you know, like, walks behind him with a gun. Anyway, Jesse James, now that he's on his own, more or less, he only keeps, you know, kind of the Ford boys, which is Sam Rockwell as well as Casey Affleck. He keeps them close because, you know, he trusts their family. There's another cousin, Dick Little, that is around, but he's kind of a womanizer, gets himself into trouble. Then I think there's like a cousin once removed, which I can't remember who he's played by. But anyway, he allies himself with this family as kind of people he trusts. But very soon he starts to mistrust them. Casey Affleck, Robert Ford, he plays a boy who, you know, grew up idolizing Jesse James,
reading all those little books,
and he kind of gets shunned in the kind of beginning by Jesse James, and so he's kind of embittered by that, and it kind of grows. And he starts thinking, well, I can take him out and be famous, or, you know, like, I'll prove to him that I'm worth something, and then it evolves to, I'll take him out. Right. And you just see this kind of slow descent of madness with Jesse James. He has reason to be paranoid about some things, but he's definitely over paranoid for others. You see Casey Affleck with his, you know, his simple kind of admiration at the beginning is like boy-like, you know, like, I like you, you're cool, and I get to smoke a cigar even though I can't smoke it, I cough or whatever. And then he goes to, well, I'm better than him. He's a, you know, loser anyway. And you see him and his brother realizing that Jesse could kill them at any time. And so it's kind of this question of whether they should, you know, continue on as they are, or they should just kill him now to prevent that from happening. You see Jesse James in the later parts of his life. He died very young, but, you know, he has a wife and kids, and he's kind of a, you know, supposedly he was a loving father and husband. Right. But he brings this horrible, you know, all the things that he's done into the situation. And at the end, he's kind of defeated. You're left wondering why he allows what happens to happen. Again, yeah, I guess you really can't spoil it because it's in the name of it.
Yeah, the title is The Assassination of Jesse James.
At the very end, he kind of realizes something's going to happen, and he just lets it happen. And Nick was asking me, like, I don't understand why he would do that, but he was just tired and paranoid and, you know, dealing with that.
Right, and I guess I could believe that, but I mean, I don't know. It's history, you know. This stuff actually happened, but I just don't. I'm not a huge Western fan. I don't really pay attention to what happened in the 1800s, so I don't I don't know.
Yeah, which I
what the
am.
actual
I love
story
that.
is.
Well, I don't know. I guess I didn't for a while, but I do really enjoy it now. I'm enjoying All Star Western, and I love Deadwood, and
Right. Well,
I like the steampunk thing, which I know is a little different, but
yeah.
still.
And I'm talking
there.
about. I mean, I love not what was it? What was the one with Kurt Russell? Tombstone.
Oh,
Yeah. So I love Tombstone, because that I think did it for me. But this movie
this
is
is
very
a quieter, quirkier story.
Yeah, this is in my opinion, and I understand that him and his wife love it, but in my opinion, it's slow. It's kind of
it is slow. It is slow.
it's slow. It's kind of disjointed. I don't really, you don't get connected with the characters before they break off, so you don't really know who everyone is. You don't know who's related to who, and so when they start dying off, you don't know why people are getting upset until you realize, oh, that was his cousin. Okay, now I get that. It's just kind of.
I think a lot of it would be, helped by watching it again.
Right.
But I understand that, but it doesn't really matter who's related to who. It really matters who's part of the gang, who's not going to be trusted, what's going on.
Right.
Like Dick Little cheats on a friend of the family, which I think is a cousin, on his father's wife. But the father is like this old doddering fool, and the wife is kind of, whatever. That's kind of an icky scene, too.
Yeah,
it's like in the outhouse. It's like, ugh. But not a lot of shown. But anyway, it's kind of this, it's down and dirty, and I can understand that it'd be slow. What did you think about the train at the very beginning? Were you in?
Yeah. As soon as with the train robbery, I was like, oh, cool, this is gonna be awesome. I love train robberies. That's fun.
It's one of the things that someone gets shot in the head and they just collapse to the floor at the end. Like next. It's not like boom and explosions and gunfire. It's not like that. It's very more realistic that way.
Right. And I did enjoy that, but once it started, once they broke off, and then you had to figure out who allied with who, why they're, like the person that Jesse James shot in the back. I had no idea who that is. I'm unclear who he is.
He was at the very beginning. At the very beginning. He's a little bit dim-witted. He's the one that was in Deadwood as well.
Right.
The guy with it's slightly like stink eye. His eyes are kind of a little weird and.
Right. So I mean, just following everything, it was kind of. I don't know. I did like the movie. The movie was fun. And,
what about Rockwell? We always say Rockwell did a great job. Do you like him in this?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
It didn't seem very convincing.
Well,
just didn't get enough.
I think he overplayed some parts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he was a little too, showing.
I thought the ending was really cool. I find it like sweet, and not the ending, but like when Jesse. I don't know. It's just kind of this.
See, that's the problem that I have.
With the kid and, allowing it to happen.
You see, why would you... I don't understand why... Okay.
Because the brothers know if they don't do it, then they're going to...
Yeah, but why does Jesse say, oh, that painting looks dusty? Yeah.
Instead of having a gunfight where his kid sleeps, Although you could see that there was kind of this mistrust thing going on beforehand. So I can understand that. The music? I brought out the music. It was forgettable to you.
Yeah, I
really liked it.
Don't even remember it. So
it's a little off, and I really enjoy it. That's the sort of thing I pick up on, and it's very slow again. It's methodical. If you are okay with spending a little bit of time with a film, I think you might really enjoy it. If you like westerns, it does go a little bit at the end, which is kind of fun with like the death of Jesse James and that famous picture of him on ice and stuff like that. And if you watch documentaries about Jesse James, they definitely paid attention to some of those details, and that was fun. And it just having the song, like you were asking, like why is it the coward? Robert Ford.
Yeah.
It's because he killed somebody that people really liked, and so automatically he's a coward.
See, that doesn't make any sense to me, but that's the Western. The worst thing to be called is a coward. So I guess I understand it.
But he was kind of a sniveling.
See,
weirdo.
no, he was probably the most courageous out of the entire group. Everyone else was, oh my God, Jesse's gonna kill me. Oh my God, there's nothing I can do. Jesse's gonna kill me.
Well, but at least they were honest. He was not. He was hiding every step of the way.
You're right, but he was the one who said, okay, well, rather than let this crazy guy kill me, I'm gonna do something about it. To me, he was the most courageous guy.
And then I also thought it was really interesting the play afterwards.
Yes.
Where he got more verbose and his brother started getting into madness because he wasn't quite sure about it.
Right.
And he loved Jesse like a brother at some point.
I think they all did.
So that was interesting as well. So I just think there's a lot to like, but I can understand that it does seem long. So it's one of those ones that I don't know if my parents really enjoy it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. For my generation, I don't know. I think it's worth a shot. If you're interested at all, give it a shot.
Yeah. I would agree. There's not too many new Westerns out there, especially ones that come from actual
I mean, it's got a little bit of history. It's got a little bit of quirkiness. You know, it's got some good acting and
I think okay. The acting I loved. I loved Brad Pitt as Jesse James, and I absolutely loved Casey Affleck as Robert Ford. I thought they did an amazing job. Just it was slow, and you know all the other points that I brought up.
Fair enough.
When did it come out? Did we say that?
2007.
2007. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those that is personal to me. I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm happy to find things that my wife and I like equally. It doesn't happen that often, so maybe that's why I'm a little bit extra. You know, like please go watch it.
Right.
Anyway, so that's it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check it out. Duel Review YouTube channel. Game Labs. Check out all our playlists. That one's especially good. Fover is awesome.
Right, and please leave comments. We love comments, and you can support our new Seattle location found in the U District by going to our buying our wares at spiderwolf.com.
That's right, and this is actually the last week we're going to be taping in our previous location. So next time you see us, it will be in our new location downtown Seattle.
And you'll be hearing the cars go by, I'm sure.
Yeah, you'll probably hear a little bit more noise, but that's what we get for being in the heart of Seattle. So anyway, all right, guys, look forward to a lot more great stuff from us.
Yep.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Oh. Damn it.
Whoa! I'm glad you got it, because we're out now. No, I still got it. What the hell, dude? I skipped 2 of them.
I know.
Next week on Duel Review, it's the comic Rust.
By the power of Grayskull, I have the power. That made no sense. By the power of Grayskull, I have the power. It should be like, by the graces of Grayskull, I have the power.
The graces of Grayskull?
Yeah, they're giving me the power. It's not the power of Grayskull gives me the power. It's because the power is already power. Not everything I say has to make sense, right?
Didn't realize Castle Grayskull was a refinement school for women or something that teaches you grace, gives you grace.
And etiquette. Welcome to Friday the 17th of August. We are doing the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
That's right. I'm sorry, I messed up the date.
By the coward Robert Ford.
Robert Fajord. Robert Ford. I'm getting a new gun. That's what we're doing.
What? When we get our new place, we're gonna get new guns? Dude, I wouldn't mind taking this thing apart and spray painting it to be ours. Well, maybe not spray paint, but
be black and silver.
Well, I don't know, something, a different color scheme, maybe blue and black. I don't know.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah.
Not me.
But you know what I mean? Personalizing it.
All right, you can do that. Go ahead. You can put your bunnies and flowers on it.
Bunnies and flowers.
And I'll put a heart that's on fire, bleeding. With bats and stuff.
I need two.
I'm a goth.
You know what? I noticed that about you.